Today, I'm sitting down with Sarah Goldberger, the founder and CEO of Lord Jameson, a line of organic, gluten-free dog treats that can also be eaten by humans. She's going to share her insights into building a successful brand, losing a pet, and living a healthy and intentional lifestyle. Hey there, and welcome to the Cinnamon Effect podcast. I'm your host, Kimberly, and I'm thrilled to have you with me on this vibrant journey of discovery and growth. This podcast is your go-to space for embracing intention, where you'll find clarity on your unique path, deepen those meaningful connections, and unleash your creativity like never before. We'll explore how to build unshakable confidence and celebrate the beauty of gratitude, all while savoring the calm that consistency brings to our lives. Thank you for being with me. Let's sprinkle a little cinnamon into your day and make life sweeter, healthier, and more fulfilling. Sarah, thank you so much for being here today on the Cinnamon Effect.
Thank you so much for having me.
You are the founder and CEO of Lord Jameson. You are in 5,500, is that what 5,500 retail locations. You started this company under 7 years ago, right? What has this journey been like? Did you see yourself being in the pet space?
No. It's been an extraordinary experience. The idea kind of came to me actually on a vacation. It was a great way to sort of marry the things that I loved doing professionally and personally. The journey has been amazing. I always say it's crawl, walk, run. We're still in walk. We have got a lot more to go, but it's just been an extraordinary experience.
And who is Jameson?
So Jameson is my beloved dog. So the story behind the brand, he's definitely the namesake. He was a certified therapy dog. So for over a decade, my husband David and I were his handlers. Took a pretty extensive, about a 8-month course to certify him as a therapy dog. So not our therapy dog. It meant that he could go to credited facilities throughout Manhattan and volunteer and positively impact the lives of strangers. So we worked with children with special needs, adults with dementia, and really the whole brand is about that unconditional love that dogs bring to humans and rewarding them for that. I think as pet parents, whoever is listening, we all know the love that they bring to us as their parent, but then to watch them positively impact the life of a stranger is one of the most deepest, incredible moments I think you could ever experience as their pet parent, because they have these gifts and they give everything and they take nothing in return. And so he inspired me to create this.
And how long was he a therapy dog?
10 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Was he a Cocker Spaniel?
He was.
Okay, I saw his picture and he's so cute.
He was so sweet. We got him when he was a puppy. He was 4 months old, so he was my firstborn, my first everything. And it was just almost serendipitous. I think if you follow signs in life, it all kind of, my whole professional background led me to this. And then to watch the brand really shine in its own light because it was built through love is really special.
You have such a amazing background. I just said that to you when you walked in the door, because I was like, how am I going to recall all the brands that you've worked with? You actually created a herbal martini, non-alcoholic herbal martini. I would love to talk to you about that because I'm alcohol free. So that is right up my alley.
Yeah.
Like, what was the inspiration behind that?
Yeah. So the idea behind it came from a former business partner. His name is Jagajodi. He's Sikh. So for religious reasons, he doesn't drink alcohol. And he was constantly feeling, you'd go to a restaurant, everybody was drinking. He wanted something that was extraordinary to participate in. So he came to me and 2 other partners and said, hey, I have this idea. Do you want to build this brand? And we were like, yes. So we built the first non-alcoholic adult beverage, organic, of course. And it got picked up along the way by alcohol distributors, which were then using it as a cocktail mixer. So this is now 14 years ago.
Wow.
He's so visionary. The brand was so far ahead of the time.
Yes.
Had it been launched now, I think it would be probably one of the most popular drinks with so many millennials and younger generation now not drinking alcohol. And I don't drink alcohol either. So
You don't? Yeah. Did you drink at that time? Or?
Yeah. And
Okay.
I love wine, but I feel like, I don't know, the older I get and the more responsibilities we have and the tighter your time commitment is, I don't feel great when I wake up, and everything is planned minute by minute. So maybe I'll have a glass of champagne on vacation, but I don't know. It's kind of recent too.
Yeah. Me as well.
Yeah.
It's been, gosh, it's funny because it was the day after Christmas 2021 was the day I like reevaluated my life.
Yeah.
And then, but so I don't like keep track of, how many days, but yeah, it's over 4 years now. So, and it's one of the better things that I've done, one of the better decisions I've made. I've talked about it a lot on this podcast. So I always find it interesting when someone is like at all in the alcohol-free space.
Yeah.
And you're so right. I mean, 14 years ago, that was very visionary at the time. And you probably paved the way for all of these other brands that are out there now, that they're in our grocery stores, they're in Sprouts and, all these places, which I think is amazing. And Sprouts actually has a pretty decent section of non-alcoholic. Yeah.
And I think too, with all of the new research that's coming out with the impacts of alcohol on the brain and memory loss, you really have to understand there is a altercation happening in your body when you're consuming alcohol especially at an excessive level. So I think people are much more health conscious.
Yeah. No, I found that so interesting in your story that you had done that among many, many other things because you had a marketing agency. So if you want to talk a little bit about your background, because I find it very fascinating, all the things that you've done.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I love to work. I'm very driven. So started my career at Good Morning America. I had interned there during college, went back to work there pretty much right after I graduated. So was doing a lot on food production, worked with the food styling segment, so produced a lot of the celebrity chef tastings, and then moved more to the business side on the marketing side. So went to take a position at the Swatch Group. And that was just an extraordinary journey. I was so lucky to have so many wonderful mentors, wonderful bosses that really let me grow into more elevated roles. So worked for 2 brands there, Omega and Rado. And when I was promoted to director of marketing at Rado, was actually able to create the first cause marketing campaign for Swatch Group ever in the history of the brand. So we created a beautiful timepiece. I got to design it. It was pink with beautiful diamonds on the bezel. And we donated proceeds to support breast cancer and breast cancer awareness. So through that initiative, I fell in love with cause marketing. I just felt like everything has to have a purpose. If you're going to wake up and you're going to spend 10, 12 hours a day in your office, it's got to impact the life of someone. So started kind of looking to see what opportunities were available and found my way to the National Down Syndrome Society. I've always been a huge advocate for people with disabilities, really trying to break down stereotypes and positively impact the life of people with disabilities by education, awareness, advocacy. So I was able to create the first cause marketing campaign for people with Down syndrome. It was called My Great Story. And one of the most humbling parts of my whole professional background was taking all of those contacts in the luxury space for 8 years and calling them and saying, hey, I don't have a $10 million marketing budget anymore. I have no budget. This is my mission. This is what I'm doing. Can you give me some ad space? Condé Nast, the New York Times, Regal Cinemas. I mean, it went on and on. The airport publications and magazines and the airport kiosks, they all ran these campaigns. And it was just really remarkable, I think, now to even look back. People with Down syndrome are being cast for movies and models, and they live a very long, meaningful life. I think that we just need to understand their disabilities aren't necessarily their differences.
That's so special. And what year was that, My Great Story? Because I feel like I remember that.
Okay. Yeah. So it was in 2008, and it was a call to action. So this is before the digital world.
Yeah.
Had this weird idea to create a visual storybook So you could go to our website and share a story. Either the person with Down syndrome was writing their story, or a parent would write a story about their child with Down syndrome. And so this book lived online. You could flip through the pages, and it was pretty awesome. I worked with the medical reporter at the New York Times. It raised awareness. They didn't know that people with Down syndrome could live a long life. They didn't know they could live independently. So it was really fantastic.
That's amazing. You made such an impact with that. I love that. So I have to tell you a funny story because I was at a friend's house and they had a spread of food. It was, I want to say it was for Super Bowl. This was like a couple, maybe 2 years ago or something. And we were eating and I see this bowl of things that are on the table with the people food, right? And I pick up what was a dog treat that was not one of your dog treats. And I ate it. And it was like the talk of the party that I had eaten this dog treat. First of all, I'm like, why would you have them on the table with the people food, right? Like, okay, I'm the dummy that ate the dog treat, but like maybe you shouldn't have had it up on the table where the people were. Immediately, I knew it was not something that should be like in my mouth, right? So flash forward, I want to say a couple months later, I'm at an event with my friend at Hive in Palm Beach. And my friend is like, oh my gosh, you've got to try these dog treats. You can actually eat them. And I thought they were making fun of me because maybe they had heard the story about me eating the dog treat at the party a couple months previously. So I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys, like that's ridiculous. And they're like, no, you can really eat them. And it was your treats.
Oh.
Yes. And so I tried them and I was like, oh my gosh, these are really, really good. And so I want to get into the idea behind making them so that people can eat them as well. And you were saying we have a mutual friend and you were like, her son loves this specific treat. Yeah. So talk about the treats. They're organic, they're gluten-free. People can eat them. Dogs can eat them. You can hide their pills in them. Like, I just find it so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So
thank you. Yeah, that is exactly the whole essence of the brand. So the idea was to create something high touch, high feel, organic, wellness, clean, something you would feel completely comfortable giving to your child if they snuck into the dog treat drawer, which trust me happens all the time on purpose. My children love these treats. So when I started the brand, and I hope that anyone that's thinking about creating something, you take your time to do a market study. There was a big void for an allergen-friendly treat. Dogs have a lot of allergies. I interviewed over 1,000 pet parents, and when we got all the research back, made a grid and started checking this, there's a void. And when it all came together, what we were left with was dogs have a lot of allergies.
Like food allergies?
Food allergies.
Okay.
Lots of sensitivities to different types of animal proteins, the preservatives, artificial colors, artificial flavors. So by nature, I would have created an organic product, maybe not necessarily plant-based to start, but the checklist for all of the different allergies that dogs had with animal proteins was big, and it varied. So the idea was to create a product line that would be universally as close accepted by all breeds, all life stages, and to really create something that everyone could enjoy. What we were left with was a plant-based recipe. The original collection, the Soft and Chewy, think of it as a RX bar or Cliff bar. Ours are organic. Those are great products for humans. For the dogs, we did it organically. So it's soft and chewy. It breaks apart easy, very high reward, but really incredible flavor profiles. And then using things that no one was using. Watermelon. I can tell you why there's no watermelon dog treats, because 95% of it is water. It is incredibly hard to make, but we love the challenge. So we have a whole product line of our soft and chewy. And then about 2 years ago, we launched our Love Puff collection, inspired by the baby puff, right? So the first food I'm sure you gave your son, the snack, was the baby puffs.
The puffs. They love the puffs.
And I'm sure you read all the ingredients, wanted to find the best quality. So what I found, I had a baby at the time and a puppy, and the puppy kept trying to eat the baby's puffs. So I looked in the market and said, well, that's interesting. There's nothing clean, limited ingredient, and whole single grain. Everything was like a blend of pea or garbanzo or just different blends of ingredients. So we created really the first organic whole food single ingredient puff. Everything we do, I should also share, is round.
Okay.
We've like reimagined dog treats. So we've kind of coined this round ball. As you can see, everything's rolled in shredded coconut.
Yeah.
So essentially what this line brought to the market was a light and crunchy product line, low calorie. There's less than 2 calories per treats. 56% of dogs are obese. So caloric intake is definitely something that's at top of mind of a lot of pet parents. So that really fills that void. And then regardless of their dietary restrictions, they can really enjoy all of our products.
It's so interesting. I never would think dogs with food allergies. I'm really big on food allergy testing for humans, but you would think like a dog, I think maybe a lot of people are thinking they can just feed their dogs table scraps or pieces of meat or whatever is left over on their plate. And maybe that's really upsetting their stomach.
I know a lot of people that buy rotisserie chicken for their house. And they'll give it to, that's actually very dangerous because there's onions, there's things that chicken is made with or roasted in that are actually very toxic for dogs. But I think the animal protein part of the allergen platform with dogs specifically really comes from a lot of the conventional meats that are being used and the processes, the synthetic that are going into that, right? So this was a wonderful way for pet parents to feel very confident in giving their dog our product.
Yes. Now, what about you're doing treats? Would you ever do actual dog food?
I don't think so. I think we kind of have 3 different product lines right now. We have the soft and chewy, the Love Puffs. We have this really beautiful product called Super Fetty.
Wow.
This is a fun, quick story. So we love to respond to our customers. So all of our products, as you can see, are rolled in the coconut. A lot of them have varying color, meaning they each have their own signature Super Fetty blend. So there's 4 ingredients. It's organic coconut, spinach, beet, and turmeric. And we can mix those colors together to form different colors. We had a client about 4 years ago call us and say, my dog will not eat their food. We save all the sprinkles from the treats that are at the bottom of the bag. And if we put it on our food, she'll eat it. Can I just buy some of that colored coconut from you? And we said, no worries, we'll send it to you. So lo and behold, a couple months later, she said, Sarah, I've shared it with all my friends. They all want to buy it. Can you just put it in a bag and sell it? So we did.
That's so cool.
And it's a fun product because you can, there's a lot of birthdays. You want to celebrate your dog's birthday. You can make a cake. You can put it in a licky mat for the enrichment toy. There's a lot of uses to it. And we feel really proud that we could put a product on the market that essentially our customers designed.
So do you think the dog likes it because it's colorful? Like, are dogs attracted to color?
They can't see color the same way we can. It's the aroma, right? So how do dogs find their food? How do animals find their food? Their nose. How do organic fruits and vegetables smell? They smell really good because they're whole. So dogs are very smart. Their palates are actually incredible. They can tell the difference between an organic and a conventional ingredient the same way your palate could.
Wow.
If you ran a test at home, even with your son, and you put 2 packages of strawberries, you ran the conventional versus the organic, 9 times out of 10, they're going to choose the organic because they taste better.
Wow. Yeah, because I think a lot of people, first of all, I'm thinking of the dog treats that I've always given my dog. They smell terrible. I don't even like having the smell on my hand.
This bag is open. If you feel like smelling it, you're more than welcome to.
I'm going to try that.
It's open in the back. You can just pop that back open and...
Oh, right here. Okay, sorry. Okay, but so I could put this on something. I could put this on my yogurt. I was going to say my yogurt bowl.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that smells so good. That is so crazy. Do you find like people are like, wait a second, you mean I can like really eat this? Like, are they super skeptical of?
We do. And we encourage all of our buyers and sales team to try them. I think people are overwhelmed with excitement and joy. And we have so many wonderful stories. We have sales managers that are in the field all day selling. They didn't get their lunch. They'll eat the whole bag.
Yeah.
We eat the banana pops at our show. I love banana bread. So we have a flavor called banana pops. It's with banana, chia seeds, flaxseed. We eat them and we love them.
Yeah, it's such really good ingredients. I'm gonna get some of this and I'm going to put this on my yogurt bowl because that is amazing. Turmeric, spinach,
and beet and coconut.
And coconut.
Very simple.
Yeah, no, that is so amazing. I love that. Talk about building a brand.
Yeah.
You know, you obviously had a lot of experience. What do you think is the most important thing when someone is building a brand? If there is one important thing, I don't know.
Prove your concept.
Okay.
Start small. I learned from you have to build it, you fail, you get back up, you build it again. Failing is great. So anyone that's listening, fail and fail hard and get back up, head high, go back and do it again. With building a brand, you really have to prove the concept. So starting small, do data testing, small benchtop production if you're creating a human food product. Set up a kiosk, set up a table at a market, get customer feedback. People are very happy to share the good and the bad and be open to flexing. Don't get stuck on one idea. You might go to market with one idea and find out, oh, all of this is where the void is. So pivot.
What did you go to market with originally?
So our first flavor was Cocoa Crush and Celebration, but the packaging was different. It was a black bag. The Celebration was always in white, but the rest of the product line was a black bag with a hint of color. And I had a wonderful retailer. We had 3 flavors when we started, actually in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
Augie, Augie's Doggy down in Fort Lauderdale. She took me into her office and she said, I love what you're doing, but change the package. She gave me a little tip and 3 months later, we refreshed the brand and we pivoted. So I think it's really important as a leader, a founder, a visionary, whatever role you're in, to be open and really welcome feedback.
Because that's hard to do. In the beginning, you're like, it's like your baby and you're wanting to protect it and not hear the bad stuff. But
the bad stuff is the good stuff.
Yeah, that's where you can unlock the potential of it.
And ask questions. What are people missing? What do they want? What void do they not have in anything? Beauty, food, clothing. There's all these voids. There's all these new businesses that are just in the ground waiting to blossom. You have to find it, and you find it by asking questions.
And you only started with 3 products.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So you recommend starting small.
Small.
Yeah.
Very small. It was one of the mistakes that we made at Alter. We were in Whole Foods. We had the same distribution as Bacardi in the bar and liquor space. It was too big. Go small. I started in New York. We opened 50 doors. I went store to store to store. I call it dragging the bag, right? You take the product, you meet with the buyer, and you get it turning. You set up demos, you do tasting events, you get feedback, you stand in front of the customer and ask questions.
And that was the herbal martini. Okay.
With Lord Jameson.
Oh, with Lord Jameson.
We didn't do that at Alter.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
We didn't. And I think one of the biggest takeaways was go small. Start small. There's no rush. If you believe in what you're doing, take the time to build it and build it right.
Startups, obviously, everyone's bootstrapping. You don't have a lot of money. Where do you say go big or go bigger with funds?
We built the whole brand on retail. We're just playing around in e-com. The retail space for us is the heartbeat. I think that depending on what someone's idea is, maybe there's a specific sales channel that industry is booming in. We went pretty hard with pet retail, and it was a cultivation of relationships. So taking the time, getting to know the buyer, knowing what their needs were, and service. Service is everything. So for us on the retail side, that was our focus. But even with e-com, providing service to really grow things is very important.
So good website.
Good website, response time. So I used to run marketing at Swatch Group, a very high-end timepiece company. Everything's tick, 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 tick. Customer emails you, you respond. All emails are responded to within 24 hours.
Yeah, that's what you said. You said working for a timepiece company, if you are on time, you're late, right?
Yeah, if you're on time, you're late, you need to be there 5 minutes early.
Do you think that's the Swiss culture?
Perhaps, but looking back, it's the right way to do it. Now, obviously, you don't want to cause anxiety with your staff, but you should look forward to the meetings. I looked forward to going. I wanted to be on time. I wanted to be there. You want to be present. Of course, life happens and people show up late for reasons, and that's okay. But just general principle, it might be more of like a European culture, maybe a little bit broader. But I think good companies operate with a schedule.
Yeah.
And expectations.
You guys are Lord Jameson is in anthropology, which I thought was very interesting.
Yeah.
Because that's more lifestyle.
Very lifestyle.
Yeah.
So they brought in our holiday line a couple years ago, and then a few of the wellness products. We had these beautiful candy canes, a tube with the topper, with beautiful label, with our gingerbread, and like a case count of 12. So they brought that in for holiday.
And they're obviously marketing towards dogs, but people can...
Dogs.
Well, yeah. Okay.
It was like a holiday. I think it was more of like a holiday stocking stuffer. So they do a lot of in and out. They like to surprise and delight. They call it their customer.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. I want to talk about the grief of losing a pet because Jameson was your love, right? Your first love.
Yes.
That's what you said. And, losing a pet deserves the same acknowledgement that losing any other important relationship in your life, right?
Mm-hmm. So Jameson passed away about 3 years ago. Found out very suddenly that he had a type of cancer in his spleen. So he went in, we actually were going to go through with a splenectomy where they remove the spleen. And they do a test prior to the surgery to confirm, even with humans, the clotting time, right? If someone's going to be cut, you need to make sure that the blood can clot. So we dropped him off for the surgery, and the surgeon called 2 hours later and said, "I'm so sorry, Sarah, this has never happened, but he's not clotting. We can't do the surgery today." So she said, let's just go home. Let's plan it. Come back in 2 weeks. We'll test the clotting time and we'll get back to you. So we said, okay. So within that 2 weeks, he kind of just deteriorated and he passed on a Sunday night after we put our kids to bed. At that point, my youngest was not even 1. And I knew the signs to look for. So oftentimes when dogs are in distress, good information for anyone to know, their gums will turn white and kind of get a little tacky. So I kind of saw he fell and checked his gums. They were white. We knew. We brought him in right away. Anyhow, same thing. The clotting wouldn't work. And actually the tumor in his spleen had erupted. So he was dying. So we had to make that decision. The surgeon came and she said, we can operate, but he has a 1% chance of surviving. So, in that moment, it's like, oh my goodness, the deepest, darkest moment. We decide, okay, we don't want him to be in pain. So we, at their suggestion, decided to put him to sleep. And the one thing I was not prepared for that I don't think anyone ever shared was what happens. So you're in this room, you're holding, loving your animal. They take him away and then they come in and say, so what do you want to do with his body? And it's like, wow.
Yeah.
You can't even wrap your head around the grief. And then to make that type of a decision. And it was about 3:00 in the morning at that point. We had the kids with us. They were sleeping. So we just said, please, can we go home and call you in the morning? So we dealt with it. But I think an animal is like a human. And so to just be prepared, had I thought about that earlier, to think about not in a bad way, but in a heartwarming way. If your animal dies, you want to have a plan. If your pet dies, if your friend dies, and there's options, you can cremate, you can bury, and maybe just have a plan in place before, because that pain that you already feel and then having that very heavy question was just a lot.
That is interesting. We don't think about that plan at all.
No.
We lost a pet. She lived to be 17. She was a beagle. And my son was 2 months old. So I'm a new mom, postpartum. I had had a lot of complications with birth. And we woke up in the middle of the night and I could hear, it was dark. And I got up to nurse my son and I could hear just her feet on the ground. And I knew it was not normal. Like she was not making a normal sound even, and she was having trouble walking. And so instead of going to the emergency vet, my husband drove her across the state to our friends who are vets over there.
Wow.
Because he said, I knew like once I got there, they would be awake and they could like help me with this. And that was like his first love. And I came into her life later because we had started dating, but he had no plan either. And it ended up beautiful. They ended up putting her to sleep on the beach, which was like very special, and like letting her just kind of, go there. But yeah, the aftermath of losing a pet too is like, what do you say to someone? What do you wish people would have said to you? Or, looking back, what do you do with people that have lost pets?
Yeah, now we plant trees.
Oh, you do?
Plant a circle of trees, 3 trees. It's our company policy. If we find out someone lost a pet, there's 2 different companies we work with, and they'll plant a circle of trees.
That's so amazing. Like with their ashes or?
No, there's different forests. You could pick the geographical range. One of our employees' dogs passed, and so we planted trees as close to Colorado, which is where our factory is, as possible. It's in national forests. And so you get a plaque, and you get a photo and a picture. And I don't know, it somehow feels that they're still with you.
Yes. Oh, I love that. That's so beautiful. That's a great idea.
Yeah. We treat it like we would treat a human loss because the pain is the same.
Yes.
The grief is the same.
Yes. I remember watching my husband, her bed was still out and her collar and the food, and the collar is actually still hanging on his rearview mirror. We have another pet, but her collar is still there. It's just like a memory. And I remember thinking like, I'm just going to let him when he's ready.
Yeah.
We're either going to, maybe donate some of her old stuff or her food. You have like an abundance of things, and we weren't going to get another pet right away. So yeah, that's a tough, it's tough. And I feel like not a lot of people talk about it.
They don't, and it's very private and lonely.
Mm-hmm.
I remember coming home or going to work. He used to come to work with me every day, and his water bowl was like the last living. That water bowl sat there for 6 weeks. I let all the water evaporate. I couldn't wash it.
Yeah.
I couldn't. But now, it was very hard to go back to work for a while. I worked from home for a bit because the office just felt heavy. But now I know, he was the inspiration behind this brand, and we have to keep going, and every dog has to be celebrated the same way he was.
Yeah. I love that his memory lives on as Lord Jameson. It's so cute.
It's his little cameo in the logo.
Is it? I figured it was. I saw his picture online. He was beautiful.
Yeah.
Very, very beautiful. Oh, I love that. So you are obviously very into health and wellness. And I loved how you described yourself as, creating very elaborate bento boxes for your kids. And I want to get into some of that because I think that's super fun. Like, what are you packing them for lunch? What is this bento box? I think I need to get it. Like,
So it's the bento stainless steel lunchbox, and it has 5 compartments. I love cooking. I love cooking for dogs. I cook all of our new puppies' food. I cook Jameson's food, but I really believe in we are what we eat. And my children, my husband, very important that all of them have great quality food. So the bento box has 1 fruit, 1 veggie, 1 snack food item, 1 treat, and then I pack everything the night before. Very structured. Everything's packed, done the night before.
I need to do that. I need to take a page out of that book.
It helps because you wake up and sometimes, like this morning, our puppy's spitting up in his crate and like the morning goes haywire, right? So it's like, okay, I've built time for this. It's okay. We're all going to get out the door on time. And then I cook a warm food. There's like a warm entree each morning. So it could be taquitos, ramen, pot stickers, pizza, anything.
Okay.
Soup. They love to eat.
Yeah, my son likes soup too. I'm doing a lot of soup. I used to have the Planet box The Planet Box lunchbox.
Yep.
Is that what you're using?
Yep. It's the Planet Bento Box.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. The Planet.
Yep.
Okay. So I need to update that into the bento style because it's a little
5.
different.
You probably have the 3 compartment.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. And it lasts forever. I still have the one that Dylan, my oldest son, used from the time he was 3.
Yes.
They last forever.
Oh yeah. I have it too. I have it like we moved in December, but I have it like up in the cabinet. I don't know, we started doing like the little thermos for the soup but yeah, I tried to kind of do the same thing, but I'm going to put it back in the box.
Ramen.
That
so
makes
if you
it more
like
fun.
soup, you could do the ramen.
Yeah.
In the broth.
And what are you making for your dogs?
So
you have one dog now?
One dog.
Okay.
His name is Jasper. He's also a Cocker Spaniel. He's just turned 3. So slow cook. I used a slow cooker.
Okay.
Never make homemade pet food though, just for everyone to know, without nourishing it with a product like Balance It. Meaning you have to fortify the food. You can't just make food without putting the vitamins and minerals and all the nutrients that they need outside of the base. So he right now is on either salmon and brown rice with veggies or chicken with brown rice and veggies. I put everything in the slow cooker. It cooks for 8 hours on slow, and then I bag it and have enough food for probably 12 days. I freeze 8 days worth, and then I have 4 days of fresh food.
Okay.
And then you use Balance It. So it's called balanceit.com. Your vet has to approve it. You basically design the recipe. You pick the grain, you pick the protein, and then it'll show you what different minerals and traces you need. And then you get the bag and you follow the recipe. It's very easy.
Oh, so interesting.
Very
so you should
easy.
not just be like cooking like rice and chicken and like giving it to your dog. There needs to be more added to that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we did for a little while like chicken, rice, coconut oil, and pumpkin.
Yeah.
I don't know if
coconut
you've heard
oil is
people.
amazing.
Yeah, to add. I mean, her coat was gorgeous, you know.
Well, and it's also a natural, especially in Florida, it's a natural antifungal. So it helps with yeast between their paws, yeast in their ears, yeast around their mouth and under their eyes.
Yeah.
Very good.
Okay. So you could add those things, but still.
But you just need to add the trace minerals that they need.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So interesting. I love that you're making that. So you're making that once like every couple weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks and then freezing it. And
I love
it's pretty
it.
easy.
So easy.
Okay. Probably much less expensive too.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Because good dog food now is very expensive.
Yeah.
Very expensive.
Yeah. What are some pet tips? It seems like you probably have that very dialed in. Like,
And there's all these life stages, right? So with a puppy, discipline, training, routine, setting the boundaries like a child. If you don't want your dog on the couch, don't call them up and then expect them to go down the next day, right? So it's like setting the routines and the benchmarks. During the elderly part of their life, I think really becoming exceptionally in tune to them, right? So dogs can't talk. We rely on them to speak to us through their eyes. I've always thought that. They give you these little clues when they're not well. They show up at your feet. They come sit on your lap. They sit closer to you or they lay closer to you to tell you that they're not okay. So I think in that older part of their life, you really need to pay attention to behavior patterns. Are they running on the same, path? Are they limping in any way? Does it seem like it's harder for them to go up the stairs? So the life lessons I always lead with are very specific to the stage and the stage of their life, really.
Those are good tips. That's so true. I felt like always my dog, she like worshipped my husband, but when she was not feeling good, she wanted to come to me. It's almost like I feel like with female dogs, because I've had 2 females, and they like want their mom. Like I just feel like that gentler.
The comfort.
I don't know. Yeah. I always
and
thought
maybe she's trying to tell you, I'm not well.
Yeah. Like I'm going to listen to her. That's so sweet. So back to the health and wellness, because you had a lot of good products and things that you do like for your hair.
Yeah.
I have notes here. I was like, I am going to try those products. Talk about your routine a little bit.
Yeah. So I love clean beauty. I always have. There's a beauty brand skincare line called Sunday Riley. I discovered it when I was pregnant with my last son and really just started thinking, okay, if it's approved for pregnancy, when I'm not pregnant, why would I not use it, right? So they have just an amazing line it's called CEO Glow. It comes in the form of an oil and a cream, just very tonifying, very hydrating. I feel like in Florida, even though it is very humid, we tend to get dry. So
we
great
do
for
the
your
sun,
skin.
I guess, maybe. Like the sun just like leaches it out of us.
It does, yeah. So very routine-based, night face wash, serum, same thing in the morning. I don't get to spend too much time on beauty, but that's just the point we are in our life, and that's okay. And then hair. Hair is very important to me. I have big curly hair. I blow dry it straight a lot. After I had my second child, I had weird hair loss in different places. You know, the first time I feel like it's around the crown of your head. And with my younger one, it was back here and the hair was all weird.
Interesting. Yeah.
Just strange. So, and I feel like in Florida too, I tended to use a lot of hairspray to, put the flyaways away. So I discovered this amazing brand and it's all Ayurveda. I actually have it if you're interested.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Ranavan, and it was actually started by a mom post-pregnancy, and she lost all of her hair. So it's the art of Indian hair oiling. This product that I'm going to show you is a leave-in treatment. And you just open it up, put a little pump. You could put it, if you ever get little flyaways, you just put it here. It's even, you could use it as like a little cream if you put a little bit on your hand.
Now, does it make your hair oily?
No, not at all.
Because that's what I have problems with is...
And you want to focus on the ends. Your ends you have beautiful hair. You don't need any help.
Oh my gosh, thank you. But
it will really change the texture of your hair. That was, so post-prep, my hair was like crinkly. Yeah. It just felt different. So I use this all throughout the day, almost like you put lotion on your hands, I put lotion in your hair.
Yes.
And then they have a fortifying oil. And every night I take it and run it through. And it never makes my hair oily.
I'm going to have to try that because my hair is finer, it's thinner, I tend to not put product in it because I think, it's going to make it oily, it's going to weigh it down. And then, it gets dried out or, I'm just probably not taking care of it like as I should. I
think this product you'll love.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try this. And this is so tiny. How long does this last you? I know.
Well, they have a normal one, but this is my personal.
You have your travel.
Times.
Okay. So yeah, I'm definitely going to check that out because I was like, I'm going to take notes on this. What other wellness things do you do? I know you spend a lot of time outside and you're very active with you have 2 boys.
Yeah. Love movement of any kind, whether it's biking, swimming, running, playing tennis, honestly, I love any sport. I love mindful wellness. So prior to, having kids and running a business, I used to go to a yoga class almost every day. Very into the mind-body connection. So now I do about a 15-minute flow every morning, and then another 10 or 15 minutes on a Pilates reformer that I have at home, and I'm good. Stretching your back, leaning your muscles, focusing on posture, I think really adds value to our aging process.
Yeah, good for you. So you're doing that every morning.
Every morning.
Yeah.
And the mornings I don't get to do it the days are not as good.
What time are you waking up?
I wake up about 6 o'clock.
Okay.
5:30, 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
I need that. I love the morning. I've always been a morning person, but I need that quiet where everyone's sleeping. It's just me. I make my coffee. I do what I need to do. I get everything done and prepared before the kids get up, before our dog needs to go out and our husband comes down. It all works when I wake up before everyone.
Yes. That's always the goal. Yeah. That is always my goal. Do I make it happen? Yeah. Not all the time. Yeah. But actually this morning I did, and I felt it changes the course of your day. Yeah.
You have to put your thoughts together, especially with what you do.
Yeah.
Bringing it all back to have that time for you. Do you read the 5 a.m. Club?
No.
Oh, it's a fabulous book.
Okay. I've heard of it.
Yeah. It'll change your whole morning.
Yeah, I've never been a morning person. And, just the more that you add on your plate and if you're a mom and you're trying to do other things too, like work and you have to carve out that time. Because I think if you wait until the evening and then you get home and you're trying to carve out that time, forget it. It's not going to happen. And you're just snapping at everybody because you haven't you haven't gotten anything to yourself.
Right. And it's the disappointment. Oh, yes. We have homework. The grocery dinner, the silly little things that don't matter, but all of a sudden your time is not yours.
The homework is soul crushing.
It is.
Oh my gosh. It's been a full day and then, you're like, like round two, so like
Yep.
day number 2 starts in one day.
Yes.
You know, it's like 2 days combined.
Yep. It's intense.
It's intense. Now you're running a team. Your team is in Boulder, Colorado, right? That's when you're manufacturing.
Yeah. So the production team is in Colorado, and then the sales and marketing team is here in Florida. We have an office and showroom on Palm Beach Island, just above Mildred Hoyt.
Oh,
Yeah.
how fun. How is that for you? Like you're in 2 different time zones and like that workflow.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Our team in Colorado, they're all morning people. So actually for the first couple years, the team was slightly different. We operated more on like a normal 9 to 5 schedule. A lot of them are moms. They want to be home with their kids in the afternoon. So we start early. The lights go on there at 6:30.
Wow.
And by 3:34, for sure 4, it's closed.
Wow. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Kind of working with
It's perfect.
how they like it
Yeah.
too. How so they can make their schedule worthwhile for them. That's cool.
Yeah.
And Boulder's such a perfect place, I feel like, for organic, healthy. Was that strategic or?
So I started making the product in Brooklyn, and the logistics of manufacturing in the New York metro area are exceptionally complicated. And then when we started to grow, then we were shipping all the way to California. It didn't quite make sense. So my partner, Dan, who's in Colorado, he oversees the manufacturing and the production team on a day-to-day basis, came out for one of our runs, and he was just like, wow, I got to take this back. So we moved it to Boulder, and it was the right decision because now even just thinking about shipping and lead times and how quick everybody wants everything, we can get it very quick. And also, we have wonderful suppliers in Colorado. So all of our packaging, all of our corrugated, all of the inks that make these beautiful colors, everything's made in Colorado.
Wow.
We have a wonderful organic food broker that helps us kind of get a lot of our ingredients in Colorado. We try to source as many ingredients as we can in North America. There are ingredients like organic coconut that is not grown stateside in the quantities that we would need. But yeah, Colorado is just a fabulous incubator now for human and even pet food. There's a lot of really awesome pet food brands there now.
Wow. What has been your biggest failure with launching the brand, and what has been your biggest success?
Oh, wonderful questions. I think our biggest failure was maybe trusting some of the partners we had early on, not partners within the brand, but like distributor partners, just kind of not understanding exactly how things worked, not asking the right questions. So ask questions. And, you know, when you're creating something from nothing, you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
You only
kind
know
of a
what you know.
complicated situation.
It's very complicated. And each day I'm like, I didn't know that. And we learn. So I think that part of it, when we think about like failure or things that we didn't know, you just have to keep going. And so when you put that to like our biggest accomplishments, I think the biggest accomplishments came from the failures, the things that we didn't know, the decisions that we made that we thought were good decisions, the people that we trusted, and then we learned. So it's the learning that then brings you back to what makes things successful. And what is success? I'm in kindergarten with the brand. We've got so far to go. Like we are just getting started. So I just feel humbled every day when pet parents call us and say, oh my gosh, we just found your brand. It's the only thing we can feed our dog because of their allergies, or they see the bag and they hear the crinkle and they come running. We have clients and retailers that are, you know, if they're ordering through a distributor and the distributor might not have the product, they call frantically, when am I getting it? Because the customers want it. So I just feel so humbled that we can be part of someone's house in a meaningful way. And the whole brand is just meant to be happy. It's to create this happy experience for dogs and something that pet parents are so happy giving their dog.
Yeah. What would you say to you 7 years ago when you were starting the business?
What would I say?
What would you say now to you 7 years ago when you were starting this business? Like, what do you wish you would have known then?
Oh my gosh. I wish I had experience in the pet industry before I stepped into this space, right? So my background was in totally different sectors. I wish I knew more about the pet space, but maybe if I think through this, and maybe because I didn't know is what makes the brand different, because maybe I would have tried to create products and things that were already successful, right? You see what's successful and can I do that or can I do it better? So I don't know if I would have changed anything.
Yeah, that's good. I love that. And you're so innovative in what you did create.
It's intuition.
Yeah.
I feel that everything my whole life has always been based on intuition, whether it's family, kids, your partner in life. When you decide to marry someone, what does that look like? If you question it, that's not the right, in my opinion, the right partner for you. But trusting your instinct and then taking that instinct and putting it in a professional setting. So all of our ideas came from this weird gut feeling. Sometimes you just wake up at 4:00 in the morning and you're like, what about that? Is that a crazy idea? Let's go with it.
How do you tap into that?
This is so strange. I don't know why. Maybe it's because you're alone, either when you're in the shower or like getting ready for the day. I always have the best ideas. And not all of them are actually the best, but the most out of the box ideas, like this Palm Beach flavor. Creating a travel-inspired gift collection for dog treats. There's a to and from in the back, and it's been a wonderful success. We're launching one for New York.
With love from Palm Beach. I love that. That is so cute.
So I don't know. It just kind of comes to you, but I just believe in intuition.
Yeah. I think I've actually heard that when you are in the shower, you are so present. You are, you're quiet.
Yeah.
Maybe the sound of the water has something to do with it. But I've actually heard a lot of people say that they have a lot of creativity happen in the shower.
Yes. It's
so
wild.
Spend your time in the shower.
Maybe it's because there's no children or dogs and it's like your own space. I don't know.
Like nobody can get in there. And
yeah.
I love that. Yeah. What would you like to leave? Maybe a piece of advice. Maybe there's somebody out there just like you, a mom who has an idea. We're talking to women here. So.
Yeah, I would say go for it. Follow your dreams, write it down, stay committed. Do not be afraid to fail. You will fail. And failure is what creates success. You get back up, you put on a happy face, and you keep going and you change. Maybe you failed because the color was wrong and the flavor was wrong, the market strategy was wrong. Reinvent it and keep going and don't give up. If you want to do something, you can do it. You have to believe in yourself.
That's beautiful. What a great story you have. I love it. We had so much in common because just when you were talking about like intention and putting that intention behind it. And I also love what you said about when you are creating a brand, that the story is so important to what that brand is, right? I love that.
I think when there's heart in something and you feel it. And so if the brand has the purpose, right? You have to have meaning. You have to have purpose. If you're going to put a product in the market, it's got to be meaningful. So we actually donate a lot of proceeds to support service and therapy dog groups. And we're very intertwined and hoping to do more with them with Pets in the Classroom. I serve on the marketing committee for them, and we do a lot on the advisory side. It's an amazing organization, but so there's got to be purpose. And so for anyone that's thinking about what they want, the reason you gravitate towards a brand is because there's an emotion behind it. So as a founder, if you're thinking about launching something, put your emotion behind it. Show the why, ask the questions, and build.
Beautiful. How do people find Lord Jameson?
You can go to lordjameson.com, buy direct. We have about 5,500 retailers. You can click the Find Us on our website and find the closest retailer, hopefully pet retailer next to you. We love supporting them.
Yeah. Sarah Goldberger, thank you so much for being on the Cinnamon Effect today. What a great conversation.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thanks for tuning into this episode of The Cinnamon Effect. If you enjoyed our time together, don't forget to hit that follow button on your podcast app and sprinkle a little love by leaving us a 5-star rating and a quick review. Your support means the world to me. For even more goodness, check out the show notes where you'll find links to some of my favorite products. And don't forget to visit thecinnamoneffect.com to connect with me directly or to grab your TCE Gratitude Journal, your next step towards a more grateful life. I can't wait to spice things up with you again next time. Stay vibrant, stay inspired, and remember to add a little cinnamon to your life every day.